February 26th, 2019. I was traveling at an incredible speed, faster and faster. Then I was standing on a lake, or maybe I was in a theater of some kind, in which I was able to walk through the screen. There I saw a lake, and I saw what I perceived to be football, then dinosaurs. I asked, "Can I go any place I want?" And I heard, "Yes." And then I started looking around, and there was a city, dense with buildings, different colors but blurry. I couldn't quite make it all out. It was like I needed to put on glasses or something. I walked around and said to myself, I can walk and don't need a cane. Welcome to Sunday. And I know that is a different way of opening a video for me, but I wanted to share a story that came from 2019 to kind of illuminate the fact that I come at this from a completely different perspective. When I had that early experience, I didn't understand or realize what reality shifting was. I just knew that this was different than my astral projection experiences, because for that entire experience, there was no feeling of separation. I felt myself in movement, my complete body in movement, something that I'd never felt in astral projection. Let me share another early story with you from August 11th, and I will just read it as this is August 11th, 2019, and I will read it as I put it. Sometimes it's a bit confused. I normally write in a way that is very clear, but when I'm writing this stuff down, when I'm writing my experiences down, I just put it all out. So, August 11th, 2019, the movement. I didn't go very far, but ended up in a house with a huge bay window. In fact, this window displayed a sky full of turquoise and other amazing colors. Mom was looking out the window too. The house was enormous, but I remember the window and all of the colors that I saw. I went to open the door, and we were maybe in the hills of Tuscany. My mom came out in a white t-shirt. Her hair was long and straight. I'd never seen it like this. I motioned for her to come out. As she did, it was bright sunlight, piercing blue sky. My God. We looked out, and my mom asked a question about how we got here, and I said that this was beyond body. It was like showing her. Then a tiny African boy, maybe 3 feet tall, walked up and reached out to me. I took him by the hand, and he grew suddenly. Instantly, he was tall and slender. He said something, and my mom laughed, but I don't remember the words. And as we turned to begin our journey, I returned back to the 3D. Now, again, for those of you who shift, I just want to let you know that none of this was scripted. And I know that people talk about scripting a lot. I wanted to talk about a few of those things because these are things that I have, I'm totally cool. I mean, obviously I don't have any issues with people doing what they want to do in regards to scripting or having their own process. But what I guess I want to try and propose to you from my own unique perspective is to think outside of the box. And this is something that I talk about a great deal. Again, these two things that I mentioned happened in 2019. I had no idea what was happening to me. Um, Also, around that time, I had an experience where I traveled to an apartment that seemed familiar to me, but there were, I remember when I arrived, the walls were so white. I remember that part. It looked like it had been freshly painted. There was an apartment, and there was a young lady, and she was reaching into a dishwasher in the kitchen, and I just saw her, and I was trying to kind of get my balance because I just arrived, and sometimes when I arrive in different realities, I feel like I need to balance myself. So I saw her, and the only words I could really get out to her were, excuse me. And as I said this, there was a knock at the door. She went from the dishwasher to the front door, and then I started trying to follow her. I'm thinking, I'm going to start asking this person, where am I? What's going on? She's opening the door. My sense was that these were like relatives. Well, I had the sense that I was either married to this person or I was living with this person, and maybe these were in laws that were coming by. I wasn't sure. But again, this was an experience and a reality because I've been single most of my life. I've never actually lived with anyone before. But in this situation, I was actually living with a woman. And again, I didn't script this. I didn't, um, you know, uh, make this world, I guess. I mean, this was just an alternate reality, I suppose, a place where I had made different choices. But again, the reason why I bring this up is because I have a very passionate belief that each being has their own unique journey. And what I see so many times out there with reality shifting and sometimes with astral projection is that people seem to want to kind of be like other people in my mind, I guess, in my opinion. It's almost like they want their experiences to match up with others, and that's not always the case. I was recently on the subreddit for shifting, and I saw someone talking about the void state. I'm not sure if this was the original poster or perhaps it was, but someone was telling them about an experience that they had. And the person said, well, that seems like that's close, but no, it's not this. And this kind of stuff drives me crazy now. I wouldn't go on to that person's post and say that because I think it's disrespectful to do stuff like that. But I will say this on my channel because it really bothers me when someone comes in and says, you did not experience this. Number one, this person later admitted that this person hasn't shifted yet and was, I guess, I guess they were speaking from the point of view of this person that they called a master shifter or whatever. And, again, whatever, you can call yourself whatever it is that you want. But this was just basically someone who had never shifted telling someone else that had an experience, hey, this was not the void. You did not experience the void. And again, this drives me crazy. People have their own unique perspective. Nobody even really sees reality. I mean, we see it basically in a way. We see it in a sort of similar way, but everybody has their own unique perspective. And so when we have these experiences, I would think it's going to be probably the same way. Everyone is going to have their own unique experience, their own unique journey. This is why when people, I will see this on the subreddit sometimes, I will see people asking, like, do you think this was shifting? Do you think this was astral projection? And I will always, one of the first questions I always ask if I respond to something like this is I will say, what do you think? Always. What do you think? I don't know. This just seems like it just makes sense to me that if someone is having the experience, then on some level they know. And I still don't quite understand why people need to reach out to others to confirm what it is that they're feeling inside already. I'm not sure about this. I mean, I can't say that I don't ever do this. I mean, I know I'm sure I've done this before in the past. But in regards to these experiences, it's interesting because I remember someone on the subreddit had asked me and said, are you interested in trying to prove that these experiences are real? Would you be interested in doing something like that? When I shared an experience with another person, and I basically said, no, I'm not really interested in proving something for you, because regardless of whether you believe I have these experiences or not, I know I do inside, and it's not going to make a difference whether you believe it or not. But again, look, I think that having this kind of philosophy, having this kind of an attitude where, you know what, I'm having these experiences. You may or may not believe them. I'll share these experiences with you. You don't have to believe them. I don't need your confirmation to know that I'm experiencing these things. It's important. This is not being egotistical. This is not having a big head. This is not being cocky. This is just being confident in yourself and believing in yourself when you have an experience. So this is important. And again, this is why having my unique perspective at this, coming at this from a point of view of, when it first began, I didn't even know what it was. And I had all these different experiences. These are experiences, obviously, you can look them up on my YouTube channel. I've been posting them since around, I guess, 2019 or so. And during that time, when I was having these experiences, I had no idea what they were. I was just sharing them. I was just sharing these experiences. And the one thing I knew, for me anyways, what made it very real for me was the ways in which I would travel were very consistent every single time when I travel. And I know early on, it was happening almost every week, where I would get this sense that I was in movement. I was turning this way, turning that way, going left, going right, going up, going down. These were things that, again, I didn't feel when I astral projected, and it was just so amazing. So I guess my message here, from, again, my own unique perspective, is to believe in yourself. And when you have an experience, trust yourself. When you share this experience with others, you tell them, this is what I believe it was. This was my belief, and I feel this inside. My instincts tell me that this happened, so I do believe that it happened. Be confident in yourself. Anyway, I don't know if this was helpful or not. I guess this was sort of a different Sunday episode. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. And until next time, take care.